In this video, I want to share with you two tools to use to do a new and better SWOT analysis. Now, I really like the SWOT analysis framework. It's a solid foundation in which to make strategic decisions. If we're going to make strategic decisions, we first should have good awareness on what are our internal strengths and weaknesses, and what are the external opportunities to capture and threats to avoid. Simple. But if you've done a SWOT analysis in the past, if you're like me, you've probably found that it wasn't as effective as you would have liked it to have been. It happens for a couple of reasons. One, it's hard to get good data in. The strengths end up being a few bullet points. The weaknesses are there, but it's not too clear what the underlying root cause is. Everybody can kind of sense the opportunities, and there's a debate about what the real threats are and why. And really critically, what do we do about it? So what I'm trying to do here is give you a couple of tools to use that'll take this whole SWOT analysis paradigm to an entirely new level of insight, alignment, and performance. And the two tools you can get by registering below for free, you can take them for a free test drive. One is called the Organizational Physics Entropy Survey, and that assesses up here what are your internal strengths and weaknesses. And the other is called the Organizational Physics Top Level OKRs Strategy Survey. Now, you run these tools separately, but the basic idea is it allows you to quickly and easily get in good data from your team, understand the root cause of what's driving what, and therefore what to do about it. And really critically, it allows you to track progress each year over time. So you can kind of measure how well we're doing at driving operational excellence and how well we're doing at moving the business forward in its lifecycle stage development. So I hope I can capture your attention. Watch these videos, get a better insight how to do a new and improved SWOT analysis. And if you're ready, just register below for free, take these tools for a test drive, and see what you think yourself. Let's get started. Now, entropy is just a way to think about what's causing internal problems, right? Where's the friction, the pain points, the energy loss, that kind of thing. One metaphor I like to use is if your business was a boat, well, strategy would be where you want to sail. You could do a lot of cultural activities with your crew. But if there's a freaking hole in the hull, you would be well served to plug the hole. And that's akin to entropy. Entropy is like having a hole in the boat. It's stealing from top line performance. And so what this tool does, it allows you to quickly and effectively get good data from a cross-functional team into where are the current strengths and weaknesses, and then to assess that data, synthesize it so that the team progressively realizes what's causing what, right? What's the root cause? And my philosophy is to orient where the weaknesses are, right? Because if you have a weakness, or a hole in the boat, you want to plug the hole. And so the survey shows the team what's causing what, so that in your OKR process, you can attack those holes, plug those holes, stop the leak, which will free up more capacity. And then the third thing it does is there's a sister survey here. It's called the comparison survey. It allows you every 9 to 12 months or so do another entropy survey to compare our progress over time, right? And that allows the team to understand like, hey, our actions are leading to sustained operational excellence. And it also allows the team to identify where new holes are emerging in the hull, right? Where new entropy is starting to emerge so they can attack that and keep the momentum going. So how does this tool work? Well, first thing to do is to register below for a free test drive. When you register, you'll be able to create a new survey. And so what I want you to do is to register, create a survey, and send it to your leadership team. Now, ideally, that's about a dozen people, but you can certainly do less than that. Just be mindful. This survey needs to take a holistic view of the entire business. So if you just survey the sales team or the ops team, you're going to be missing some key data. So try to get a survey group that's cross-functional. You can certainly do more than a dozen people. It's just going to take you a little bit longer to synthesize with the group, what are the insights from this entropy survey and what should we do about it? So about a dozen people is ideal. You can do a little bit more, a little bit less, but that's the target. You send the survey. Now, each team member is going to complete the survey themselves individually. And when each team member completes that survey, you'll get notified and you can see the results coming in real time. Once all the survey responses are in, you're going to close the survey and click a button, and it's going to create a PDF report. You're going to use that PDF report to take the team through deeper levels of insight so that collectively we understand where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are, and we can align and solve the root cause that is contributing to those weaknesses or those holes in the boat, and then we're going to go plug them. Okay. And then that's going to show up as part of our objectives and key results. 9-12 months later, we're going to survey again, see how we did, and keep the momentum going. So let's imagine that you've signed up, you've sent a survey, you've gotten the results in, and you close the survey to generate that PDF report. And this is what the report looks like. So this is a real survey. I just killed any identifiable information. What you'll do when you'll get the survey back is first go to this page here. Now I'm going to close myself out of video so you can see this. Notice that this doesn't look very useful at all, does it? This result so far. Now, 0 in the middle means there's no problems, no entropy, no opportunity for improvement. And out on the perimeter is a 5, and that indicates big problems, high entropy, big opportunity for improvement. And you'll notice that we've surveyed the team across 12 kind of functional areas, from throughput in production to sales, repeat sales, and you can read the rest. Now these are grouped in a specific way that might not make perfect sense yet, but as you read the report and dive into the analysis, it'll start to make a lot more sense. Now notice this doesn't seem very useful, and I'm trying to make it look noisy. Like this, each colored dot here represents an answer from one of the leadership team members. So notice the spread. Now this team works together frequently, and I want to kind of trigger an awareness of like, okay, well, what's going on here? Why? There's certainly some pattern recognition already happening for some people, but for most of us, it's just going to look like a noisy thing, like useless, you know? Does this really mean we're that far apart as a team? What's really going on there? I want those kind of questions on the table for 2 reasons. One is I want to reinforce that life and work is not clean. It's messy. It's always a gray area to deal with. People have different perspectives on the same issue. I want that awareness on the table. The second thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to prep the team for deeper insights, and then I'm going to take them through an analysis of their survey answers. I'm going to have the team members summarize them, and we'll start to bring out deeper and deeper levels of insight. The first lens we can put on this same chart is just to look at the average of the team scores. Okay, so remember, 0 in the middle means no problems, no entropy. Out towards the perimeter means bigger problems, bigger opportunity for improvement, higher entropy. Now, look for the peaks, right? So clearly for this company, there's a peak in processes and systems, meaning their processes and systems aren't scalable. Okay, that's like a big hole in the boat. There's also a breakdown happening in strategic clarity and priorities. That's a big one, right? If we're not clear in our strategy and priorities, it's hard to align our processes and systems to drive that strategy. And it's also feeling some entropy around its ability to do innovation and disruption. Now, all the survey responses are contained within this PDF. So what's actually contained within processes and systems? What is the team identifying as the issues, right? We can go down and read the PDF and see that. So just imagine that we're taking the team through this process of getting, going from noise, that was this first chart, to a little bit of a signal. There's still going to be a lot of debate probably about what areas we should attack first in this signal. But the spirit is to get this data on the table, allow the team to digest it and understand what each of those categories really represent for them at this stage in time. And then we're going to put another lens on this same data set. So this is the same chart I just showed you, but now I'm putting the PSIU forces on this same chart. And so what this tells you is that this is the producing quadrant for this company. And this is the innovating quadrant for this company. And this is the unifying quadrant, and this is the stabilizing quadrant, okay? So for instance, to have high throughput in production, it's not enough just to work hard. We have to systematize how we sell, service, and deliver. In order to have true innovation and disruption, it's not enough just to come up with creative ideas. We have to bring those ideas to life. The best staff recruiting and retention tool of all time and forever is to be kicking butt in a compelling strategy with a great culture. And structure and accountability is a marriage of the stabilizing force, which brings structure and role clarity, with the roles, the people who are energizing that structure. So notice just what I've done. I've gone from noise, signal, and now with a little bit of training and starting to get to insight here with the team. Like, okay, we have an issue going on here, mostly in our stabilizing quadrant. Just kind of feel the bulk of the entropy there in the stabilizing quadrant, and some in the innovating quadrant, which tells me the root cause here would be for this company to first align on what is our true strategic plan, right? What are our big rocks, the strategic priorities we need to align around? If we don't do that, everything else is going to be noisy. Part of that strategy needs to be to drive innovation and disruption, clearly. But also notice that this company has a little bit of a weak foundation, right? It needs to elevate, upgrade its processes and systems so that it can support that strategy, and it needs a process for innovation and disruption. Now, there's a lot of insight you can get from this 4-quadrant model. The best thing to do is actually to take a PSIU individual assessment and send it to the leadership team, because these forces are the same at all levels, right? All systems, all levels have the same combination of forces going on. But I want you to notice that part of our entropy reduction program, part of our addressing our weaknesses and leveraging our strengths, is to ensure that the stabilizing quadrant and the unifying quadrant of the business is supporting the right side, right? The reason we engage in stabilizing and unifying activities is to produce and innovate more. That makes sense? I'm not going to show you the survey answers that came up from this team, but they're here contained in the report. And I hope that I'm giving you a sense of how to drive a better SWOT analysis by starting here with an assessment of internal strengths and weaknesses. Get good data in by surveying, take the team through a root cause analysis using this framework, and then you'll run a comparison survey prior to your next strategic planning offsite. That's typically every 9 to 12 months. Repeat the process with a comparison survey, and you'll begin to see how entropy reduces in this organization. And it's very powerful because it reinforces for the team, hey, we assessed the issues, we attacked them, look at how good we did. Now here are the new issues emerging. How do we reorient to solve those issues? And you keep that process going over time, and that's a key element to driving sustained operational excellence. This is the Entropy Survey. If you like this way of thinking, register below for a free test drive.